Hi guys, I'm Darren, and in this video I'm answering a question from a viewer, and that is how to calibrate your ESC in iNav. What we're going to do is just go through the basic steps, but this will vary slightly depending on your ESC. So let's go to iNav and we'll just connect up, and we're just going to go to the outputs page. Now the first thing that we need to check is that we're using the right protocol for our ESC. This is obviously part of a setup, but we're just going to double check a few things now. So this is a standard ESC, so we do need to calibrate it. Generally, if you're using D-Shot, you don't actually need to calibrate. It can automatically do that for you. But you can actually configure in BL Heli Suite to turn off the auto calibration and do it like this too. So what I'm going to do is leave it on standard because that's the ESC we're working with, and go through the procedure. So before I get cracking on the rest of the video, I thought I'd go over what's happening here, just so you know that there's nothing weird going on. This is basically how I'm rigging up a standard setup. So let's start with the flight controller. I have the ESC plugged in using just the ground and the signal. The power from the BEC is obviously up in here, and that is on output 1, which is the motor output. I haven't got anything soldered on the main power leads. This is why I'm rigging it up like this, so that the flight controller itself is being powered by the USB, and we have a ground going from here to the ESC so that they're linked. The ESC I'm just going to plug straight into the battery. Usually these leads would go on the flight controller, so that's the only real difference here. And as I say, I'm just using a standard ESC. So that's the setup of the motor and ESC. But one thing we need to make sure of first is that this enable motor and servo outputs is turned on. If that's not, turn it on, save and reboot and come back. If you don't have that on, none of this will work anyway. The next thing that we're going to do is switch this little safety button down here. We're saying that the prop's off, we know what we're doing. And what we need to do is, without the main power plugged in, so if you've got your power connectors on the flight controller, this will still work. Just unplug the battery from the flight controller. And what we're going to do is raise this up. Now, this is the part that may vary from ESC to ESC. So you should really just check the manual of the ESC to find out how to calibrate. But most of the time, it is basically just doing this. So we plug in the main power, and then we'll wait for some beeps. Lower the main power, and we should get some more beeps. So that's the regular sort of startup beep. So now we should be calibrated. That's most of the time, that's as simple as it is. You'll get different variations in the beeps, and some ESCs have different procedures for actually getting that calibration started. So that's why you need to check the manual, but most of the time it is put it up to full power, wait for the beeps, bring it back down, and then wait for the other beeps to save it, and then that's it, it's done. Of course, you can program the ESC in the same way. If I had left it with the throttle all the way up, plugged it in, and then left it instead of bringing the throttle back down, it would have entered the ESC's menu where you can do things like set motor brake and all that. Again, that varies depending on ESC to ESC. So this really is a case of checking the manual of the ESC. But I hope this video was useful for you guys. If it was, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe and the bell icon to help get this video out to more people. And I'll see you next time. Fly models like you stole them. See ya.